All right, ladies and gentlemen, again on the Explorer of the Seas out here in Croatia, and I'm here with my new friend,
Amanda Daniel.
Hey, Amanda, and where are you from?
Technically all over the place. I moved a lot growing up, and currently we are in Stuttgart, Germany because military. So.
Well, I was going to say you were a military child.
No, actually, we've just moved a lot since I was in the military and my husband stayed in, so
Ah, okay.
we're in Germany right now.
And what branch of service were you in?
Army.
So, excuse me. So, let me ask a question. I love that. This is going to be my fourth time asking this today.
Okay.
So, when people find out you were in military, I'm sure they say thank you for your service.
Yeah.
How does that play for you when you guys hear that? You know, how is it?
So I'm a strange one, so I don't really know other people's answers. Normally I'll be like, oh, okay, thanks, I guess. So when I joined, it was more to get a solid ground
Okay.
to raise my kids.
Okay.
So I didn't really go in because my country or whatever, it was just about taking care of my kids because I was a single parent then.
There was a good alternative for that.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So yeah.
Okay, well, we're here to talk about tattoos today.
Yes.
You're at least 18. You know this is
yeah.
being videotaped and going on social media.
Yes.
Okay. And so, where's your first one?
The first
she
one.
recovered up, ladies and gentlemen. She had tattoos.
I am totally covered. Okay. So my first one.
You want me to hold that for you?
Sure, thank
Okay.
you. It actually goes all the way around. It's kind of wrapped around floral and
Okay.
butterflies.
So now, what is it?
Zodiac signs. So these two are for March. It's
Yep.
for my oldest son.
Okay.
And then I have some up here.
Yep.
Same for January, which is my second child.
Okay.
And then the artist put a big flower up here on my shoulder
Okay.
to kind of represent my birth month in December.
Nice. Okay.
That was number one.
Wait, are you a Sagittarian or or
Sagittarius.
Capricorn? So am I. High five.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second one I got was actually my sleeve here.
Okay.
So that's a whole thing.
So tell us about.
So a lot of it's just geometric stuff here. It's a memorial sleeve for my brother.
Okay.
He was actually murdered 7
Oh,
years
sorry
ago.
to hear about that, yes.
He was 16.
Oh,
There was
young.
like 6 kids involved, and it was a whole ordeal. But I got this based on him. It has his handwriting, and he wanted to fly. He was into music, hence the guitar and the music notes, into space. And then they were able to do his portrait.
Oh, nice.
This part, some of those who do extracurriculars might notice it. I do not.
Okay, explain, because I'm a lunchbox.
Yes, this is actually the scientific symbol for THC. So my husband happened to be in South Korea at the time, and I actually ended up buying the stuff for my brother to grow marijuana, and I had no idea.
Okay.
I was like, this is how he has to start the little seeds to plant in the garden, because I don't know gardening either. And my husband came home, and he noticed what it was. He's like, you better get rid of that before she finds out. And so afterwards, it was just kind of a funny story, so that kind of represents that. And
Now, what's the green around it?
it's just because marijuana.
Looks great. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay.
And then my third one is this one here. I had another child, so
Okay.
I got something representing him. And my fourth one I got here. So it's actually a matching tattoo with one of my friends in North Carolina, and we kind of came together after what happened with my brother. I came more into Christ and God and all that, and we became friends through the church. So
Got
that's
it.
what that represents.
Nice.
And then the more recent one I got in February is this one. And even though this flower isn't bloomed out, it's on the other side, it is representing the Godhead with the Father, Son, and
okay.
Spirit. So that's what I got so far.
That is nice. Now,
Yes.
which one was first?
This piece.
Okay.
My older two, right before I deployed.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah.
And how old were you when you first started getting tattoos?
Oh, now I gotta count. Okay, so 23 or 24.
Okay, so you waited a while.
Yeah, so it was funny going into when I joined because my recruiter told me I was either going to start drinking or get tattoos. And I'm like, no. And I went the
Tattoo route. That's better than drinking.
Yeah.
Now, which one was most and least painful?
Some people think this, like they told me this side would be on the ribs. I didn't actually think it was that bad, although it wraps around to my hip. And I actually started laughing when they started, so I'm weird, but I was like, my hip.
Did it tickle or?
It tickled a little bit, yeah, because it was just right in the hip bone.
Yeah.
And then I don't know that it hurt the worst.
Okay.
But like up here when they got into the armpit area, that's where I felt more of that pain everybody warned you about when you first start, and it was only that little bit right in here, and that was it. And then I don't know if I have a least painful. They all seem about the same to me.
So some people say that they find the needle soothing. What's your take?
I actually find it irritating.
Okay.
It's like one of those things. I'm like, man, this is just making me mad. Like, because it's a constant.
Yeah.
And I just kind of do something else or conversate with the artist or something. So it gets through it. Actually thinking about the pain part, I think it was my side here. It was when he added the color that it started getting kind of irritating because it was already kind of inflamed from everything else because he did black and gray and then added the color to it after.
Okay.
So when you tattoo on top of what is already done, that's where it hurts more.
So you did that in the same sitting? The color got added in the same sitting?
Yeah, it was the same artist, same session.
Okay.
So
And how long was that?
this one actually, I had to do sections as I saved up money to do it.
Yeah.
So that probably took a total of 4-ish months with all of our sections because I'm like, okay, payday, we'll do another section.
Okay.
So that one took the longest. I think this might have been my most expensive piece. Though.
Okay.
So.
What did that cost?
So this one I got down in Leesville, Louisiana. The artist that was there isn't anymore. I actually got spoiled with him.
Okay.
Because I told him the idea, kind of what I'm trying to represent. He literally drew the entire piece and then put it on.
Okay.
So I just assumed that's how all tattoo artists are, and they are not. I was like, just because you can tattoo doesn't mean you have artistic vision.
Right.
That's okay. I just tend to not be this is a picture, just do what the picture is. I'm a creative person now, so I know like having that vision, you kind of add things and change it around to make it look better or come together better.
So do you interview your tattoo artist now? Like how do you select the person who works on you?
So with the first one, I just walked into the shop. And just kind of looked at some of the pictures. The second artist I got is when I learned not everybody tattoos the same way, but he did both of those, the same artist in North Carolina, and they did really good, but I know what it was supposed to kind of look like, so I'm really the only one who notices it.
Okay.
And then the guy who did my portrait here, he was the different artist that did the rest of them, but he's the one who did my thigh.
Okay.
And then I also got this in North Carolina with my friend. We just went to one of the guys she's had do her tattoos before, so.
Cool. Now you have color.
Yes.
A lot of people don't do color. So as a creative side, what draws you to color?
I think black and white looks good, but I like color. So I think it just kind of adds more dimension to it when it's tattooed right. It has more depth into something rather than just the black and gray. This is the closest one here, although there's purple in it. That's the closest one I have to just the black and gray. I think it looks good. I just always like the extra. If it goes through okay.
So with our skin, shedding so frequently, like, will you have to get these done, or has it faded, or what's?
I haven't had issues. So
Okay.
I do notice, like, I get dry skin and I just lotion and everything. But if you can see it still, like, even in this, you can still see the white. And I got this done back in 2010.
Wow, okay,
And,
yep.
like, so it holds up really well.
Nice, okay.
But I'm not in the sun a lot or anything. Even, like, this is probably the most sun I've
Yeah,
had
okay.
is on the cruise.
Okay.
But a lot of times just keeping it lotioned and, moisturized, that's a key to skin, I think. It's just everything, it's moisturizing.
Keep it moist.
Yeah.
For people who have not gotten a tattoo but maybe consider it, any advice for them?
Do not get anything that you think you're into now, and that changes with time. I actually have told my son that, because my older two are 18 and 20.
Okay.
And they've been
You look
talking-
really good for kids that old. Go ahead.
Thank you. So they've talked about it, and they were talking about getting some kind of anime tattoo. And I know some people are into that, but I told them probably not the best tattoo, because they could be, 20, 30 years from now and not be into that, and then they just have this tattoo from when they were younger. Some people like those things, which is cool, but I personally would rather have something that means something to me, like my kids and my brother and God. So those things aren't ever going to go away. So those are the things I would recommend, but I know everybody has their own different tastes. So.
All right, so this is a kind of not related to tattoo question.
Yeah.
But feel free to tell me yeah or nay. So a lot of times what I like to do is, once I finish interviewing people, is ask them if there's something that I can pray with them for. But as a Christian already,
Yeah.
is there something you'd like to share maybe with people, maybe a message of how Christ helped you or something along that line?
Sure. So I know probably on the video I don't seem like an angry person. But
No.
that was one of my big ones, is like having low patience, and I would get angry and snap really easy at things. And it was really difficult actually with my brother's death, because we actually had custody of him since he was 13, and he was killed right before his 17th birthday. I'm 14 years older than him, so he was actually only a couple years older than my oldest child, so he kind of blended in with the kids. So when everything had happened with him, that was a very difficult time. And I remember, like, my mind is like, nobody messes with my family, they're gonna pay for this. And there was just this quiet little voice that, it's like my mind trying to convince me almost. And it's like, you can't do this. If you go down this road, I'm not coming back from it. And I couldn't do that to my kids. So as much of an internal struggle as it was, I fought against it and kept trying to do what my brother would have done. And it eventually led me to God and understanding what forgiveness was, because I actually forgave all 6 of the kids involved in his murder. I kind of have a relationship with one of the moms and the 2 brothers involved. I had written back and forth with one of them for about a year and a half and let him know I forgave him and everything like that. I actually went to visit every month for almost 2 years that the other brother was in prison. He was actually my brother's best friend, and then it was their mom that I kind of had a relationship with, and the detectives and everything are like, I don't know why you're talking to them. Are they trying to get you to do something? I was like, no, I just felt that conviction in me that I needed to reach out. And I didn't understand it myself, but God has walked me through and led me through that. And I remember their mom, I'm like, you're losing your kids too? It's just in a completely different way, because so many families were affected by this, not just mine. And that has led into so many opportunities and things that God has brought along for me to share that kind of like this. I wasn't expecting that. And just being able to speak to people and understanding, even on the other side, that they're affected by that too, not just on the side of the victim. And God has been able to reveal a lot of that to me, and what forgiveness can do and how it can open people's views to God and what His love is. And it's been amazing, actually. So, yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you for your time.
Absolutely.